Okay, in that case, I will help you to share the screen then. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji.
Who is joining? Yeah. Please let me know who has joined with your laptop. Okay, in that case, I will help you to share the screen then. Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. I'm joining one laptop one time.
Please let me know who has joined with your laptop. Okay, in that case, I will help you to share the screen then. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So let's try one final time, Mataji.
Prabhu, you're live now. You want me
Yes.
to share the screen?
I'm just trying one final time, Mataji. If it works, then
Padma Suresh Mataji, anybody, Ambika Mataji, who is logging through their laptop?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I have my mobile not on the laptop.
Okay, no. Prabhu, if it's not happening, then I'll help you.
Yes, Mataji, it looks okay so far.
Okay.
My screen is visible, right? Yeah.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So, Mukam karoti vachalam pangum lagayate grim yat kripa ka maham bande Shri Guru Dev karanam paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanya Eshu. So I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas here so that I can say something in the glorification of the Lord with my limited knowledge and your unlimited blessings. So this technical glitch that we just faced now, these kind of problems are very important in our life because they make us to believe that we are very, very insignificant. We saw how 2 times I tried and it got disconnected. And I said, okay, I will try one final third time. If it works fine, then great. Otherwise, we will see what should be done next, right? It is very much in line with what we are going to study today. We have discussed about Vritrasura, and then in the first 8 shlokas, which have been discussed so far, Parikshit Maharaj is questioning about how the demon like Vritrasura could be so exalted devotee of the Lord. So we will not discuss those shlokas in detail, but one thing that we all understand by now is we all have seen and discussed how I came to Krishna consciousness, right? So this is exactly like, it is not something new, what we see usually in like different our ISKCON groups, and right, there are different channels where they explain ek mulaqat Krishna Bhakt ke saath, right? There are many Saturday, Sunday, weekend, I think. There are some YouTube channels. So this is exactly what Parikshit Maharaj is asking Sukadeva Goswami, how this great demon Vritrasura, how he could become such a great exalted devotee. Okay, what was the reason and what was the history of that? So without spending more time on that, every one of us, Srila Prabhupada says, we are flying in our individual aeroplane. So each of us are on our individual journey. And each one of us have different experience how our journey started. Okay. So when we get a chance in our life with any devotee, it is a very good inspiring platform, because the takeoff what we see is same monotonous takeoff of the aeroplanes. But when we discuss about the devotees and how they got connected, it is every time unique. Okay, and the inquisitiveness to know what has inspired whom may one day be very much applicable for us, because we never know in our journey, which is yet to be covered until we reach finally to our Supreme Lord. We may be going through different situations, and those scenarios which the different devotees have used to come to the platform Krishna consciousness may help us also one day. Okay, this is the foundation. Now we will start with the sloka number 8. Shri Sutta Uvacha Parikshito Atha Samprashnam Bhagwan Padarayanihi Nishamya Sarathya Dhanasya Pratinanda Vacho Abravit. Let me just request devotees one by one to read the translation. There are not much purpose in these shlokas. Yes, Divya Mataji, you want to read the translation, please?
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Sutta Goswami said, after hearing Maharaja Parikshit's very intelligent question, Sukadeva Goswami, the most powerful sage, began answering his disciples with great affection. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So the question by Parikshit Maharaj, as we just discussed, it shows how keen Parikshit Maharaj was to know about the past of Vritarasura, right? And then if we want to please a sage, okay, when we go to any dham, we usually have a tendency that because we are going for a short duration, let me spend my time to visit more and more number of spots in that dham, which is, of course, very, very important. And it is true that we are going for a small duration. Why not to cover more points, more places? But I will answer it with the help of an example. When Srila Prabhupada went to see his spiritual master, Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Maharaj, then Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj's classes used to be not a regular Zoom class of an hour or so. It used to be a very long classes, 6 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours. And then it was continuous. It usually so used to happen that devotees will go have prasadam in between, go for bath, and the class will keep on going. So once what so happened is like Maharaj was giving class, and then other disciples of Maharaj went to see other temples, other places in the dham. So, but our Srila Prabhupada was there continuously without any break. So when those disciples came back, so Maharaj chastised them, saying, until we understand the Lord, okay, it is just a different means of sense gratification. Okay, our eyes, with our these mundane eyes, we cannot see the Lord. If we want to see the Lord, eyes are not the option. Ears are the way. Okay, so coming back to this shloka, when we want to go to a dham, then for sure we must visit some holy places because pastimes had happened there. But the most important thing in a dham is to get the association of the great souls who are there, who are actually getting the right mood of that dham, and they can pass it to us. Our patra is not qualified to get that vibration ourselves. We need a via medium who can make us understand what they are seeing. Something like if we ask a blind person to explain what you are seeing, he cannot answer it. Maximum he will say, oh, it's a very good weather. Or he might, of course, because we know it cannot happen, right? So if we ask a person with eyes, he will explain everything, and then the blind person can understand. Something very much similar to that. We cannot see it from our eyes. We can hear it from the sage who have seen it, who have experienced it. Okay, so why we are discussing all these details is because Parikshit Maharaj is very inquisitive to hear, okay, to hear about the history and how His Grace Vritrasura came to the Krishna consciousness. Next sloka. Shri Shuka Uvacha Shrunavavehito Rajan Itihasam Imam Yatha Shrutam Dvapayana Mukhan Narada Devaladapi. Okay, next me request Rupali Mataji next to please read the translation.
Prabhuji, the translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Sukdev Goswami said, O King, I shall speak to you the same history I have heard from the mouth of Vyasadeva, Narada and Devala. Please listen with attention. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Once Srila Prabhupada was asked how in such a less duration you could do so many things around the world for Krishna consciousness, how you could spread it. And then Srila Prabhupada said, my only unique thing that I have done during all this time is that I did not change even a single word what I have heard from my Guru Maharaj, from our Acharyas. This translation is exactly in line with that answer of Srila Prabhupada. Shukadeva Goswami is going to answer, and before he speaks the answer, look at the mood. I shall speak to you the same history which I have heard from the mouths of Vyasadeva, Narada and Devala. Please listen with attention. So when we want to get best out of a sage, then the most recommended way is to hear from them, as we just discussed in the previous shlokas discussion also. Because what they have best, they will pass it to us when we request to them humbly. Okay, and this is our parampara. Ours is an instruction movement. Srila Prabhupada is physically not coming and not asking us every day, what did you do? Did you complete your vow? Okay, we have been instructed by our Guru Maharaj, by Srila Prabhupada, by our Acharyas. We need to follow their instructions and pass the same further. That's why we are in an instruction movement. Our relation with our parampara is there as long as we are following the instructions. Instruction chain is a mercy chain. Follow the instruction, get the mercy. Next sloka. Asid Raja Sarvabhoma Surseneshu Nirpaha Chitraketu Rita Kyato Yashasit Kamadhun Mahi. Yes. Next, let me request Sudha Mataji to please read the translation only.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. King Parikshit, in the province of Shurasena, there was a king named Chitraketu who ruled the entire earth. During his reign, the earth produced all the necessities for life. Thank you. Purport also,
Mataji.
Prabhuji? No.
No, Mataji, in the interest of time.
Okay,
I
thank you.
request
Thank you.
all, yeah, don't leave the purport. Maybe after
Okay.
this class, let us all go through the purports individually. I will just brief what Srila Prabhupada is trying to say in the purports.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is one shloka from Ishopanishad, shloka 1. It is after the first Mangalacharan. Om Purnamada is the second one after that. So it says everyone has got his quota, okay, in our life. It is, and that quota of the resources, of the opportunity is given to us by the Lord. Now, one important thing which we should take away from here is, we all would have seen different movies, drama, theater, right? So how will you feel if a character in the drama is constantly complaining to the director, saying, why you gave me the role of a person in problem? Why you did not make me a rich man? Why you did not give me this good dress? How will we feel to that person? We will, of course, all of us, we can raise our hand if we disagree. We all will feel, oh boss, it's just a drama. It is going to end very soon. Okay, you are not the person who is playing this role in the drama. Why are you so much worried? Yes or no? We all will have these questions. So, oh, my volume is low. Hare Krishna, is it same for all? Or, is it manageable? Let me.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Let me try to speak loudly. Is it manageable at least? Or
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji,
okay.
no problem.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, Mataji, I'll try to speak a little loudly also, Sindhu Mataji. So we all will feel that person in the drama is need not to bother much about the role that is given to him. Okay. Instead, what we want that person is to just focus on the role that is given to him or her. Okay. So similar is the situation of us. Let us all do our role of this final drama. Okay, this let us do our best. Okay, I remember asking this question to one of the sage in Vrindavana. We had got a chance to visit there during COVID, and then he gave us a very small and very life-changing instruction, which is how we should live our life. Okay, it should be tan. I will say in Hindi and translate. Tan car mein and man yar mein. Our body may be there in the car or in this material world or in this final drama, man yar mein. But our mind should always be absorbed in the Lord Krishna. So that should be our mood to live this life. And now it is also mentioned in this purport about Maharaj Yudhishthira when he was ruling. Then there was no scarcity of rain. Even it was mentioned, mountains, trees, clouds, rivers, mines, soil, animals, cows, everyone they were paying their share of taxes by fulfilling, by giving as much as it was required for the society. So as long as we are into Krishna consciousness, that Lord has helped us even when we were in the womb. Just to satisfy our desire, he has created this Brahmanda. Why will he not help us when we want to go back to him? Just to right? We have discussed it earlier also. Just to let us enjoy, okay? Just to fulfill our desire, he has created this Brahmanda. Why will he not help us when we want to go back to him? Right? So we need to be happy in the final drama, the role that is given to us, because that role is not the permanent. Why it is not permanent? Because we have seen it, at least by now, by reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, at least by now we are clear that we are not the body, we are the soul. We are on a journey. This is our drama. 11th. Tasya bharya sahasranam sahasrani dasapavan shantanikas chapi nirpo. Just give me a second, please. Yeah. Shantanikas chapi nirpo nalebhe tasu shantatim. We'll go a little more quickly now. Anyone wants to read?
Read, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji. Yeah, please continue, Mataji.
Read the sloka also, right?
Oh, only the translation is fine, Mataji.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This Chitraketu had 10 million wives, but although he was capable of producing children, he did not receive a child from any of them. By chance, all the wives were barren.
Yes. And thank you, Mataji. In the next one also, these two slokas are related, and then we will explain them quickly together. Rupo Darya Vajo Janma Videya Aishwarya Shriya Dibihi Samprashana Sampanasya Gune Sarvesh Chinta Bandhya Pater Abhut. Yes, please read this also.
Shall I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Maraji, please continue. Yes. If someone else wants to read,
Wants
please
to read, or
I
can continue?
Yeah. Otherwise, you continue, Sindhu Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Translation
Mataji.
by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Chitraketu, the husband of these millions of wives, were endowed with a beautiful form, magnanimity, and youth. He was born in a high family. He had a complete education and he was wealthy and opulent. Nevertheless, in spite of being endowed with all these assets, he was full of anxiety because he did not have a son. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. And then, okay, it is mentioned he had 10 lakh wives. So you remember we discussed in the beginning that this technical glitch, right? We tried twice, and then third time, fortunately, it worked. Okay. So similarly, it was Krishna's way of helping us to come in the mood of today's sloka. So Chitraketu Maharaj married first wife, did not get any children. Then married second, did not get. Third, no. Fourth, not yet. He married 10 lakh times. sorry, 10 million. What is it? Previous shloka was 10 million, which is 1 crore. Okay, how he did, how many lives, how many long his life was. Of course, we will get the answer. We will not go into detail how long was his wife and how he managed, and right. That is not the purpose. If that is the purpose, we will get the answer of that also when we read more and explore more. Okay, so let us not go into the direction of how. I'll just tell a small example. Gaurang Prabhu went to one of the IITs, and he was explaining about Krishna's birth. Okay, and then I heard this in the yesterday's one of the lecture, and then one of the student in that IIT, he asked this question: why was Kamsa so stupid? Why did he keep Mother Devaki and Vasudev in the same prison house? Okay, why did he not keep them separate? And then the answer that Gaurang Prabhu gave to that question was because he was Kamsa, he was not IITian. Okay, so why I'm telling you this is because our mind do have the habit of going into a direction which may not be very important, just for the sake of information. Okay, so I do not reject that question, how it was possible. I just request all of us just to park that question, but just focus on the message that is going to come. Okay, so he was, point that I'm trying to pass is, he was not a lusty person. He just wanted a son. Okay, why and all is more explained also further. So this is what we have discussed so far. And then we'll go to the next 13th. Natasya sampadah sarva mahishyo vamalochanaha sarvabhaumasya bhumas cheyam abhivan priti hetavaha. Yes, Krishnamurti Prabhuji, I saw your hand.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. His peons all had beautiful faces and attractive eyes, yet neither his appearances, his hundreds and thousands of peons, nor the lands of which he was the supreme proprietor were sources of happiness for him. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. So he had all the resources, so many queens, so many maid servants, so much land, but none of them were giving him happiness. And at that same time, in that city, there must be people for whom the source of happiness might have been to get more wives, more land, more servants. Right? So the story is not of King Chitraketu. The story is of all of us. The object in which we try to find our happiness is not fixed. We try, it is called the tendency to change our target, bhoga tyaga, right? It is called. Something we try to enjoy for some time, and then we give it up for some time, and we try to look for our happiness somewhere else, and then again come back to that. So we are spending our whole life in this chapala sukha. Okay, but until we surrender unto the Lord. See, the point is very clear. We are part and parcel of the Lord, one who is Sat Chit Anand, who who himself is unlimited, and we are part of that unlimited. How we can be satisfied by getting something which is temporary and nikrist, lower in rasa? It cannot be satisfied. There is a reason we have to keep on spending life after life, just feeling this time I will get happiness. Okay, so until we surrender to the Lord, there is no other way. Okay, 14th. Tasya kadatu bhavanam angira bhagavan rishi lokan anucharanan etan upagachad yad racha. Yes, Lokeshwari Mataji, want to read that translation?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, translation by Srila Prabhupada. Once upon a time, when the powerful sage named Angira was traveling all over the universe without engagement, by his sweet will, he came to the palace of King Chitraketu. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Thank you.
So, King Angira was traveling, like we see all our great, like Lord Narada or Srila Prabhupada, right? They are always constantly traveling. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani. When a great sage visits different places, the place where he goes, that becomes a tirtha. Okay, so we see Angira Rishi, he was also traveling everywhere, and by his own sweet will, he now came to the palace of King Chitraketu. Tam pujayitva vidivat pratyutha narahanadibihi kratati the mu pasida sukhasinam samahitaha. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, please continue.
Mm.
Chitraketu immediately stood up.
Chitraketu immediately stood up from his throne and offered him worship. He offered drinking water and eatables, and in this way performed his duty as a host to a great guest. When the rishi was seated very comfortably, the king, restraining his mind and senses, sat on the ground at the side of the rishi's feet. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mansi. So this is our Vedic custom. Okay, it is mentioned even if a very poorest of the poor person, when he receives even an enemy as his guest, okay, it is his duty of the host to make sure the enemy feels comfortable when he is there in the house of the host, no matter what relationship they share outside, whether they are enemy or friend or whatever. Even if he does not have much things to offer, he should at least offer him water and a place to sit. These are very clearly mentioned in like Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. So that was our Vedic custom. So, and then now out of again custom, Vedic customs, he is sat on the ground, king sitting on the ground at the side of Rishi's feet. Maharishitam upasinam prashya vanatam kshitoho pratipuja maharaja samabhashed abravit. O King Parishit, when Chitraketu bent low in humility, he was seated at the lotus feet of the great sage. The sage congratulated him for his humility and hospitality. The sage addressed him in the following words. So the guest, who is sage Angira, was very much pleased by the humility and the hospitality offered by the king Parikshit, offered by the Chitraketu king. Angira vacha apite na mayam swasti prakrti nam tatha manah yatha prakrti bir guptah puman raja cha saptabhi. Yeah, Mataji, please read. Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Angira said, "My dear king, I hope that your body and mind and your royal associates and paraphernalia are well. When the seven properties of material nature, the total material energy, the ego, and the five objects of sense gratification are in proper order, the living entity within the material elements is happy. Without these seven elements, one cannot exist. Similarly, a king is always protected by seven elements: his instructor, Swami or Guru, his ministers, his kingdom, his fort, his treasury, his royal order, and his friends." Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanwad Pranam. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Raji. So, see, the bigger the list we have of our things which we want to be satisfied, it becomes that much exponentially difficult. Okay, so because when we ask someone, "How are you?" then it means we are not only asking how the person's health is, but it also includes a series of things which directly affects the happiness of the person, which includes how is, in our current situation, how is his job, right? How is the financial situation? How are the family members? How are the neighbors? How is the society? How is the water, electricity, car, and number of things to which we associate ourselves and we feel are so important. All of them have to be good for us to become good. So this is the material conception. We are unnecessarily making our equation more and more complex by adding more and more objects into them. We know all these objects are like temporary and are meant to be finished in some time or another, right? Like us, like our body. So more we identify ourselves and our happiness with these things, we are putting ourselves into bigger and bigger risk. Atmanam Prakrtis Adha Nidhaya Shreya Apnuyat Ragya Tata Prakrtayo Nardeva Hitadaha. Yes, I see Saras Mataji raising the hand.
Hare Krishna, Dandavad Pranams, Prabhuji. Can you just scroll up? Yes. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada. O King, O Lord humanity, when a king directly depends upon his associates and follows their instructions, he is happy. Similarly, when his associates offer their gifts and activities to the king and follow his orders, they are also happy. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
So this is very, very, very important. Okay. So King Angira is saying to King Angira is saying to King Chitraketu, "O Lord of humanity, when a king directly depends upon his associates and follows their instruction." This reminds us of Gopir Vartu Padakamalyor Dasa Dasanu Dasa. Means as long as we are serving, okay, we actually feel happy by serving, not by receiving the services. So when the king is following the instructions of his dependents, he will feel happy. And similarly, when his associates offer their gifts and activities to the king and follow his orders, they are also happy. So we do apply these things. This is something very important. Okay, we apply these things in our daily life every single day. But when it comes to Krishna, we do it as a matter of duty maximum. When we develop that service attitude of feeling happy while serving Krishna as our family member, then the reciprocation that happens will take us to more depth. Krishna, after all, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the first member in our house, and he is a person. When we serve our family members, we feel happy. So it is fine to, Srila Prabhupada says, to fake it until we make it. So until we see him actually as a family member, let us continue doing it as a duty only. And then at least put a prayer, oh my Lord, I do not have the vision. I am stuck in this material world. I don't know what is good for me. How can I know what is good for me when I do not know who I am? I am covered by layer of ignorance. How can I truly appreciate you? If you clear this rain, this cloud of ignorance, then only it is possible. So it is sharp 9 p.m. We started a little late. I need your suggestion whether we can spend another 10 to 12 minutes to cover remaining shlokas.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, you can take 10 minutes, no problem.
Fine.
Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Api daraha prajamatma matya bhretyashrena yovatah mantrina pora janpada bhupa atmaja vasvarnitah. Yes. O king, yes, let me read them. O king, are your wives citizens, secretaries, and the servants and the merchants who sell spices and oil under your control? Are you also in full control of ministers, inhabitants of your palace, your provincial governors, your sons, and your other dependents? So, if the king is in full control of all of these, then he is happy. We need to catch this language, okay? Because when we are in control, it means we are serving them. And when we are serving them, we will be happy. So that is the message that is being passed. Something very much similar to what we discussed. I'll read the translations only, in the interest of time, because there are 7 more shlokas. If the king's mind is fully controlled, all his family members and government officers, they are subordinate to him. His provincial governors present taxes on time without resistance, and what to speak of lesser servants. So when we are in for full control of them, it means they'll be pleased with us, and then they'll be doing their part of paying tax, serving, doing the things which are meant for them. O King Chitraketu, I can observe that your mind is not pleased. You seem not to have achieved your desired goal. Is this because of you yourself, or has it been caused by others? Your pale face reflects your deep anxiety. So, in this world which is full of anxieties, the reasons to make us unhappy need not to be invented. They come by themselves, uninvited. Only the devotees, when we see at their smiling faces, okay, it is very, very rare. As it was mentioned in the first 8 shlokas of this chapter, right? The devotees who wants to serve the Lord Krishna are very, very rare. There are so many living beings. Few are behind knowledge. Out of them, few want liberation. Who gets liberation are very few. And then, even those who are liberated, they may not want to serve the Lord. Those who many hundreds and millions want, they do the endeavor, and finally very few get. So, such is the rare species of devotee. And in continuation of that, if a devotee, when this philosophy is clear that Krishna is writing our script, unlike a normal person who is yet to become Krishna conscious, there is no person who is not Krishna consciousness. Krishna book, just read the introduction. Okay, everyone is looking for Krishna. George Harrison, everyone is looking for Krishna, but they do not know. They are searching it directly or indirectly. So those who are looking for Krishna, and if they are aware, okay, if this philosophy is clear, we must be very, very convinced the problems that we are getting in our life are not the problem. The people who are giving the problem, they are not the problem giver. They are just an instrument in the hands of the Lord to make us more firm and more stronger in our sadhana. We must not forget this line in our life. I just repeat it second time. We discussed it earlier. When we wanted to enjoy, the Lord created this Brahmanda for us. Now we want to surrender to the Lord. To what extent he will not go? Making somebody else to pretend like he is giving a problem. It's just a script. It's just another line in the script of the Lord. He's doing these arrangements so that we can go back to him. We cannot imagine how much love the Lord does, to what extent he can go. We are no one to limit our Lord. No, not this much. Why for me? Putana, who wanted to kill the Lord, Lord gave her the position of a nurse. We at least do not want to, kill the Lord. We may not serve him up to the way that we should be, but definitely none of us here want to kill the Lord. Putana wanted to kill the Lord. Let us not overestimate ourselves. Let us not underestimate ourselves. Just focus on what we have to do, our sadhana. We need to be sadhana siddha. Kripa will come. Sukadeva Goswami said, O King Parikshit, although the great sage Angira knew everything, he inquired from the king in this way. Thus, King Chitraketu, desiring a son, bent low in great humility and spoke to the great sage as follows. So though Angira Rishi knew everything, whatever Chitraketu Maharaj is going to speak, still he wanted to hear from him. So though we know Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We know the Hare Krishna mantra, how important it is. Until we say that expression, that mood, that bhava, that has to come, that has to manifest. So speaking is very important, whether it is a question or a doubt or surrendering to the Lord. It has to be spoken. Okay. King Chitraketu said, O great Lord Angira, because of austerity, knowledge, and transcendental samadhi, you are freed from all the reactions of sinful life. Therefore, As a perfect yogi, you can understand everything external and internal regarding embodied, conditioned souls like us. So he's saying that you know it already. Oh, great soul, you are aware of everything, yet you are asking me why I am full of anxiety. Therefore, in response to your order, let me disclose the cause. 25. As a person aggrieved by hunger and thirst is not pleased by the external gratification of flower garlands or sandalwood bulb, I am not pleased with my empire, opulence, or positions, which are desirable even for a great demigod, because I have no son. So this is the last sloka now, 26. Therefore, O great says, please save me and my forefathers who are descending to the darkness of hell because I have no progeny. Kindly do something so that I may have a son to deliver us from hellish conditions. So in this regard, we all know recently Jagannath Yatra had come, and then something similar was the question of Mother Gundicha. And then the Lord Jagannath said, you don't worry. Every year I will come, okay, as your son. I'll see you in the Gundicha Mandir, right? So this was the question of Mother Gundicha also. Gundicha was the wife of King Indradyumna, right? Who were behind like getting the Jagannath temple in the first place. So we'll not go into that story because that itself is a long one, and then I'm sure most of us know that already. So point is, Bhagavad Gita 14.4, Aham bija pradapitaha. He is our seed giving father. Okay, we are not, the day we realize this fact, okay, our relation with our Lord is supreme and it is above all material relations, then see, we must follow our customs. Whatever has been mentioned in the Shastras, Pindadana mentioned, okay, fine, we have to follow. We should follow to the extent. But now we must realize, okay, if something is not destined for us, we do not need to spend and over endeavor on that. Let us accept this as the will of the providence and a way to teach us, because this is the last line of today. The life of a devotee has to be like a jalebi. If a jalebi decides, I will go only straight, if any turn comes in my life, who is saying this thing? Jalebi is saying, okay, to all of us. If the jalebi is saying, I will never compromise, I'll go only straight, my direction, my life, we all know what will be the fate of that jalebi, right? Taking that as an example, whatever situation comes in our life, I know it is very easy to say. When it comes, it is very difficult. But when have we taken it easily in our life? All other challenges which have come have always troubled us anyway, right? We have never remained aloof from the problems that have come in our life so far also. Let us at least this time take the turn, compromise because now the reason is serving the Lord. Lord wants to give me, I'll try it. For sure, I will try it in my life. But if it is not coming, let us take it as a signal of the Lord. Because the rasa of jalebi is not going to die. It is going to be that much relishable, because its purpose is to get deep into the syrup, sugar syrup, right? And remain relishable. The focus of jalebi is not on the direction, but on the rasa. Focus of a devotee is not in the situation, whether I want to go left, right, straight, or down or up. Focus of the jalebi is, or of a devotee now, is to remain focused, be fully absorbed in the rasa of serving the Lord. That is our natural swabhava, right? There are Swarup Lakshana, Tadasa Lakshana, right? This is our Swarup main thing. We can compromise with anything else, but no compromise in serving the Lord. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Sorry for taking longer time, and then I seek your forgiveness for that, for taking extra. And then if you have any comments or questions, we have Sugana Mataji to help us.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, conclusion of today's statement is, anything will occurs. Anything problems will come and it occurs. So the only thing is we must be surrendered to the Lord, and we have to pray Him to bestow our further future life. Is it the answer?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are 100% right. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. If we want to take, continue, Prabhuji. First you continue, then I will say. Yeah.
If so, we must confirm in ourselves first. Whatever may happen in our life, we must pray for Him to give best path. Maybe best or worst, nothing else, path of devotion. Is it right, Prabhuji? You please explain me. If there is any modifications, you please rectify me.
Yes, Prabhuji, you are right. It is from Ramayana, what I'm going to say. It is, if we are in most luxurious, most long-awaited moment of our life, if we have everything else, but we are not remembering the Lord, it is of no use. On the other side, if we are into the most challenging time of our life, but if we are able to remember the Lord, that is the most important moment of the life. Because it is okay. If there is one word we can take from our today's session, take the example of the jalebi. If there are two words we can take from today's session, first jalebi and then the second final drama. Because we know it is not going to last forever. It is just a role given to us by the Lord. So we must not compromise with our sadhana, with our service for the Lord. Anything else that comes in our life is just the turn of the jalebi or another line of the script in that final drama. No need to worry. Problems have not come for the first time. It is not the last time. But our life has gone. Choice is ours. Whether we want to compromise things of less priority should not be unnecessarily given more weightage and make the high priority things suffer. Right, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Jai Hari Bol. Wonderful session, wonderful class, so much of learning. Ton of thanks to you, Prabhuji.